When I started that class and I started reading about that, I was like, oh, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
This is going to help me a lot. I'm Christie, and my degree was psychology from SNHU.
So why were you interested in telling your story today?
I was one of the people that graduated during 2020, COVID, and I didn't have a graduation, and I also didn't settle well into college my first year. So I took a year and a half off, and then I found out through the commercial about your program, and I decided to go for it.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that, what it was like to graduate during 2020?
It was hard. I won't lie. We got everything taken away from us. We had prom. We find out we're not going to prom. We're not even having a graduation. So it seemed like you work so hard towards something, and then to get it taken away, it was a little depressing, but we conquered.
Why is education important to you?
So I'm actually a preschool teacher, and through the grace of the asynchronous program, I was able to work full-time and be able to teach the young minds of the next generation. So I think it's really important to me.
So we talked about this a little bit, but what are some things that you would like people to know about you?
I come from a big family, so I'm big on morals and respect and kindness. And I think throughout this program, I've been given the utmost amount of respect towards that. And everybody has been so kind here. So it's been a lot of fun getting to know everybody. And the advisors have been amazing, and same with my professors.
Awesome. All right, then let's dive into your program.
Okay.
So was there a particular moment where you decided to go back or to go and get your degree?
Yes. So I was teaching at my preschool, and my bosses said to me, they were like, there's a spark here that we want you to explore. And they were like, we really want you to go back to school. So I was like, okay. So I was baking with the kids because I used to manage a bakery before I went back to school. And I was baking with the kids, and the kids were so eager to learn about the different concepts of baking. And I just wanted to explore their minds more, and I wanted to be able to better help them with their education process. So when I had graduated during 2020, and everyone kind of went through that depressed episode, that also stuck with me too. So I was like, okay, where can I go back that I'm learning about the kids, but I'm also learning about myself, because I don't want this degree to go nowhere. And psychology stuck out to me because I felt like I could find out more about my mind and why it went that way, and also with the children's minds, where they start from and where I could help them grow. So that's how I chose my psychology degree.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like one thing that's really cool about Gen Z in general is like prioritizing mental health.
Yes.
And I feel like that's really important. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, 1,000%. So I found out during 2021, I would say, that my OCD started coming out a little bit more. And that was when I was like really hyperfixating on not going back to school and where I'm going to go. And when you get into that pit where you don't know where you're going to go and you feel like there's no hope, it just takes the support of family and friends and your coworkers to be like, hey, you can get through this. Like, this is just a little bump. And through the support of like social media and also this program, people help you to realize like you're not alone, but there are resources wherever you want. And with this psychology program, there was 24-hour service whenever you needed. So if there was times where I was like really hyperfixated on a assignment, or I didn't know where to go with the next step to classes, there was always somebody there to be like, hey, we can help you. So the resources through this program have helped me incredibly, because I went to 2 previous colleges. And there was one college where I had dropped out from, and they emailed me a year later and were like, hey, are you still dorming here? I was like, I left. So to have people from this program keep in touch with me, especially Ingrid Brown, she was an amazing advisor, to be like, hey, I know you're struggling a little bit. I just want to let you know, like, I'm here for you. I've always said such positive things about this program because the people here are truly kind and want to be here and want to see you succeed.
Yeah. That's awesome that you had that support. And do you feel like within your classes, from other students, you had support as well? Definitely.
And it's also cool too, because there was so much diversity between all of the different age groups and people in and out of the country. Like, I was reading people when you see the discussion posts, and it's like, hey, I'm 55 from here. Hey, I'm 35 from here. And it was like just so cool to see everybody's so different, especially between the age groups. So to collab on different assignments and things like that through the discussion posts, I learned more about the people around me. So I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, so I imagine there's some value in having different people from different walks of life.
Yes.
Especially in a psychology program.
Yes, definitely.
Let's go back a little bit. What was the admissions process like for you?
So I actually saw the commercial when my sister and I were out to dinner, and I was like, I've been wanting to go back to school for so long, but I don't know where to go. And then that commercial just was like, bing, in the pizza shop. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a whirl.
Felt like fate.
Yeah, it was. So I logged on and I called, and one of the advisors picked up, and I was like, hey, I'm looking into enrolling. And they pretty straight up forward were like, here's the process, here's how you sign up, and we will help you throughout everything. And then I was unsure at first if I wanted to. So it took me a little bit, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And they emailed me. They were like, hey, are you ready to enroll with us? I think this would be good for you. And I'm like, going to take a leap of faith here. And so I just dove into it, and they helped me. The rest is history.
Once you were in your program, how are you able to balance life and school and all of that?
So it was an interesting adjustment at first, because you don't think it's that big of a deal until the assignments come up to Thursday and Sunday, and then you're like, oh, I got to figure this out. So luckily I was able to manage with my work schedule and the program. So I would do it Thursdays and Sundays, and I would just take the time to really dissect those assignments for those 2 days, and it worked best for me.
Can you talk about what your experience was like with your advisor? I know you mentioned them before, but just go into that a little bit more.
Yes. So Ingrid was very consistent with keeping up with me, and she also knew that I struggled a little more than others with just anxiety. So she was on top of my case a lot more. So every week to a couple weeks, she was always calling and checking in, and anytime I needed help, she was like always giving me different resources too to provide more help when I needed it. So just her keeping in touch with me and keeping up to date with how I was really meant a lot to me.
Shout out to Ingrid.
Yeah.
So why should someone in your generation pick SNHU?
Great question. So everybody here really is super kind and really does look out for you. And from the 2 other colleges that I attended, they did not give an ounce of care compared to the thousands and thousands of things that people at SNHU do. And I think that once they start here, they'll see the support system that I'm talking about, and they won't want to leave, and they'll want to continue.
So despite being online, you still felt like they were in the corner?
I still thought that I was part of the team the entire time. There wasn't a doubt in my mind that I wasn't part of the SNHU family.
That's awesome. So when you submitted that final assignment, what did that feel like?
Surreal. I was like, am I really done, or is there a catch?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because I went back with SNHU, and it was such a relief, like that last click.
Yeah, I shut my laptop. I'm like, I'm done.
Yep.
I'm done. Even though some people didn't know I was in school, I knew I was in school.
Yeah. So commencement is this weekend?
Yes.
Are you getting excited?
I am. It's crazy because I haven't had a graduation since 8th grade. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I think once I put on the cap and gown, it's going to be really real for me.
Yeah, because you said you graduated 2020, so you didn't have...
No, we did a drive-in movie theater, so everyone tailgated, and we watched ourselves on the screen, and it was like, hey, there we are. But no, there was no walking across the stage or anything like that.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about your program, because
Okay.
it sounds awesome.
I chose the psychology program, and I wanted to learn more about my mind and the others around me, and I thought that it would be a great opportunity for me to dive deeper into certain things that I struggle with and to realize why I struggle with those things and to better understand those situations that I've been through and to help kind of heal me. I wanted to pick a degree that was extra special to me and my heart, and the past couple years have been pretty tough on me, so I wanted to pick a program that would help ease me, and I have come so far, and I've become a completely different person since starting the program, so it has been amazing and definitely worth for me.
Was there something in particular you found fascinating? It could be a couple things. I mean, it's hard to narrow it down to just one.
I think for me, it was just learning more about certain things that I had never learned about. Like, for example, not many people talk about anxiety or mental health problems. So when you get to dive into a program that specifies these certain things and why our mind works the way it does and what sets it off. I think that was really special for me and new. Like, for example, you go through high school classes and it's history, science, math. You're not learning why certain people act this way, what cultural differences make people become certain ways, or nature versus nurture. So definitely learning the different concepts of why we become the way we are today is definitely something that is really cool to me.
And I imagine like understanding what is happening inside of you helps with your anxiety too, right?
Yes, 1,000%. And I've definitely learned some tips and tricks to help ease my mind today. Yeah. So yes.
So where are you hoping this degree takes you from here?
So that's the fun part. I love children, have always loved children. So I'm looking to see with my master's program with SNHU if I want to go more the route of school psychologist for children or if I want to go into teaching.
Did you have a favorite class that you took during your program?
I honestly, the one that stuck out the most to me when I took it and I was like, this is it for me, was the first class. It was Intro to Psychology. And that was everything from the brain on about why we are the way we are and all of the different interlocks of how our brain works. That, when I started that class and I started reading about that, I was like, oh, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
This is going to help me a lot.
So is there something, like a particular fact about the brain you learned that like you didn't know before that helped you?
That first class, they dove into fight or flight and why we become so anxious today. So they said in the textbook how back in the day, how people would use hunting to eat their food and how they survived. So the reason why we neurologically had fight or flight mode was because when our anxiety kicked in, when there was like a bear or something in front of us, you either have to run or you gotta fight. But now we've become so codependent on grocery stores and things like that, that we don't need that type of adrenaline rush like we used to. So there was this concept that they had us do for an assignment, and it said, where's the bear? And they have you jot down all these different things when you're having an anxious moment, and you write down what you're feeling. So, you know, I'm nervous about a test. I'm nervous about an assignment. So then under each of those numbers, you write, I'm nervous about this assignment because A, I don't want to fail, or B, I don't want to submit it late, things like that. You circle the one that sets you off the most when you read it, and that is where your anxiety or fight or flight mode is coming from. So then you remind yourself, okay, there's no bear in this situation, like I can't be hurt from it. And then it helps you to ease your mind. And it helps me incredibly. Yeah. Like all of my friends back home, I'm like, all right, where's the bear? When we're talking about these things, and they're like, I gotta go write.
Yeah.
And I've helped so many people just with that simple concept because it was new to me. I was like, oh, where is the bear? And I write it down and I'm like, okay, I'm nervous about something, but it can't harm me. Like I'm going to be fine. And that is something that I liked.
Yeah, that's great. It's like acknowledging your feeling and facing it rather than running from it or trying to push it down.
Yes. Right? Yeah. And it sounds silly, but it's like a huge difference once you write it down and you're like, oh, I made this out in my mind way bigger than it actually was.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. I mean, that's great advice in general for life. So
yeah.
So if someone is out there is thinking about a future in psychology, what would you say to motivate them to pursue it?
I would say don't let the fears inside of you take over. And as soon as life gets the scariest, you got to take that leap of faith because it is going to change your life forever.
What's the bear, right?
Yeah, exactly. Where's the bear, guys? There's no bear. Exactly.
Okay, this is lightning round, but it's really not that much pressure. You can take more time if you need it. Let's say you had about 30 seconds, call an elevator pitch to answer some of these questions. Okay. What would you say to someone who's thinking about going to school? Why should they choose SNHU?
Okay. You have a bunch of different people that are from all different types of backgrounds who have so much more knowledge to help you through the programs that they want you to succeed, they want you to do well, and you have 24-hour tutoring all the time.
So you talked about how this will be your first graduation since 8th grade, partially because of COVID. What would you say this moment means to you?
This moment is a bunch of different accomplishments put into one day, and it's the one day that you get to walk across the stage that you probably won't do again unless you do your master's, and you get to feel a lot of accomplishments for all the different things that you've done in the 4 years.
So if someone came up to you on the street, to you while you were studying somewhere, and you had to describe SNHU to them, what are some highlights you would share?
A lot of happiness. There's everyone that I've been in contact with, from professors to the different resources, from tutoring to advisors, they are happy people. So when you're around kind, happy people and you see that they wanted you to do well, you'll want to be with them. Yeah. Everybody resonates happiness around here.
I can truly say the people that work here, they live and breathe the mission of and like helping students.
They do.
It's all real. Like it
is real.
To all the others in your generation out there, how would you motivate them to let them know that online school is a great option?
You get to work, you get to travel, you get to hang out with your friends as much as you want. The world is your oyster when you have an online program because you can take your laptop wherever you want because there's Wi-Fi everywhere.
All right, last one. Finish the sentence. You should earn your degree online at Southern New Hampshire University because...
You will feel so accomplished. You will not take your life away. You will be able to accomplish everything you want to in your own time, in your own locations, whenever you want.
Okay, so I feel like this happens with a lot of generations, and Gen Z sometimes is misunderstood. And what's something you'd want people to understand about your generation?
We are very unique. We're funny. We're hardworking. And we were pushed onto a lot of new things and a lot of new technology at a young age. So we had to adapt in different ways than older generations did not have to. So I think we're all doing the best we can, and we're all learning to just adapt to this crazy thing we call life.
And why should other Gen Zers choose SNHU?
It's a great program for everybody to just be able to dabble life, but also different things during school. Like, if you go onto campus, you're limited amount of time to do whatever you want when you go on campus. When you choose SNHU with their online program, you can go wherever you want. I've done assignments in Florida. I've done them in the Bahamas. I've done them in Missouri, Kentucky, Europe. You name it, I've probably done it in that location. So why not?
Awesome. Now we have the last four, which are much easier. What is your favorite study snack?
Ooh, goldfish.
Nice. Just plain goldfish or flavor?
The original ones where it's like the blue packaging.
Nice.
Those are so good.
Favorite study music?
Country music.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
What is the latest you've stayed up working on an assignment?
3 a.m.
If you could study anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Somewhere tropical.
Nice. It's a funny question because, like, if you could go anywhere in the world, I don't think the first thing you'd do is study. I think you'd want to explore.
Right. But if I had to, I'd want to be with some palm trees and a beach. So
I agree. Some sun. Nice. Well, that was all I had. Thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And we will see you this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you.